I'm from Tanzania, and to be honest, I've taken time to understand where all of this is coming from, and I actually agree with you. Ramafia 18, my dear sister, I just want to say thank you first of all for doing that for yourself, for taking time out to listen to what we say instead of listening to the propaganda that's being spread outside, where people are going all out of their way to say things that we have never said. You say illegal immigrants, they tell you you don't want immigrants in your country. They say, or you talk about the crimes that come with illegal immigrants, they tell you, oh, um, South Africans commit crime too. But I mean, this is our country. Of course, we have criminals from South Africa, but it's difficult to track illegal immigrants who are not South African. And on top of that, it's disrespectful to come into someone else's country to commit crime. And you say something, then they decide, oh no, she's saying it because she dated a Nigerian and she's heartbroken, and they start taking videos of someone else who's not you and start spreading them all over and saying that that's you. And they say all kinds of things. They don't take time out to listen to what we actually say as South Africans when we talk about this issue of illegal immigration and how it affects us as South Africans. And that's the saddest part, because it doesn't grow other African countries at all to focus on South Africa and try and badmouth South Africa and tell us they're going to ban us or do something to our economy. At the end of the day, your people are here in millions, which is what we're complaining about. You're not doing them any favors by saying all kinds of things. I saw this other lady swearing at me, calling our president gay and so forth. And, I'm very, very petty sometimes, and I can reciprocate that energy, but she's not worth it. Her and I are not at the same level. I mean, she's making videos in another country swearing at me while I'm in my own country, fixing it for the betterment of my own country. I don't relate to such street behavior, especially of swearing other people's presidents and calling them names and calling them gay. I don't think anyone who's from a good and proper home resorts to that. So that's why I didn't even respond to that, because generally I know how drugs affect a person's mind, and I'm not in that wavelength. So when you talk about the issue of illegal immigrants, Ramafia, they've affected our lives really, really badly in South Africa. It's so bad that our streets, as we know them, have dilapidated. Our buildings are falling apart. There's stormwater drainage causing floods. There's crime all over, and people can't be found. They can't be recognized. The prisons are full, so much so that some of them can't even get convicted because there's no space to keep any more prisoners. And some of them come here and plead poverty because they're poor, and they start selling all over the streets and throwing things on the floor, behaving anyhow, substituting themselves as cheap labor, working as slaves, when there's labor laws in the country completely being disregarded. Many of them are rude, they're arrogant, they're selfish. You know that they don't care about South Africans. They don't care. Like, we're a non-factor in our own country. It's not like they're here trying to be united, if united is even the correct word. But you can tell, man, that the main goal is to make us as South Africans feel like we're not useful in our own country. And on top of that, you go to schools, it's full. There's foreigners, because they know our laws allow everyone to get an education. You go to hospitals, they're full, because they know that hospitals allow everyone to get a service. If it's an emergency, you go to any place, any place. And South Africans are generally supposed to get these services free, because that's what the law was for. It was for South Africans. But we are not able to enjoy even the most basic of things in our own country, because we're meant to be taking care of people who just walk into the country and expect that their lives are supposed to be better, because they claim that they are hard workers and they're here for opportunities that we don't seemingly want. which is absolutely not true, because currently in South Africa, what is happening is in strategic positions, I mean, even in parliaments, they've been showing that even in other institutions of learning, one Zimbabwean would come in and start hiring Zimbabweans, even in other places, they start hiring each other, and South Africans are being run out of their own country. And someone would say, this is about jobs, you're taking our jobs. It's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than just being about jobs. It's an entire system that is trying to render black South Africans useless so that they can be replaced by immigrants who are here illegally. And when they get here, they want to be documented by force, because if they don't get documented, then it's because you hate them, or you're xenophobic, or you're Afrophobic. As much and much since our existence, I see some of them claiming that, oh, Jacinta, when you're saying that there shouldn't be violence, it's because you're backtracking on what you've been saying. You can go through all of my videos. You can go through all of them. There's never been a time where I was advocating for violence. We've had several marches, thousands of people. And every single time we're there, we've never had a case where people are just running wild and just like chasing foreigners, trying to get rid of them. That's not true. And all the people who are claiming that are creating fake stories, and they know it. We've always existed because we've always pushed for our own government to speed up the process of deporting illegal immigrants and getting them out of this country. The biggest problem that we have, though, that nobody wants to tap into, is that the immigrants themselves are saying it over and over again, that they are willing to die than leave South Africa. And I don't understand why nobody is talking about this. When people are in another man's country, and the people of that country are saying, we've had enough, and you tell the people of that country that we are willing to die rather than leave this country, what does that tell you? That means that those people are preparing themselves to fight. They will fight by all means to get what they want, and that is to be in that country by hook or by crook. They're basically saying that our government is so bad that we don't want to go back there, and we would rather kill or rather die before we go back to our own country. And that is not a sign of failure on the side of South Africa. No, it's not. It's a sign of failure from the people of that country who have a duty to take care of those people, their own people. But now you can't get angry at South Africans for saying it's enough. You've taken more than we can give. There's nothing left for us to give anymore. You've taken all of it. You've taken our schools, you've taken our places of living, you've taken our homes, you've taken our jobs, you've taken our safety, you've taken our security, you've taken everything. Because some of you are here, you don't even have jobs where you come from or when you come here. So you start committing crime to survive. You've taken our peace of mind from us. You're going so far as trying to take even our identity from us, of who we are, of what a South African is. And you can't expect us to just sit back and keep quiet. But now we are the ones who are being labeled as violent, as promoting violence, as promoting... Guys, trust and believe me. If I wanted to promote violence, it would have been long happening by now. It would have been long happening by now. You don't know how many times I've been criticized by people saying that this peaceful march thing doesn't work. And I am the one that continuously has to call people to order, guys, no, behave yourself. We don't do that here. We don't. Now, when communities are rising and they're fighting their own foreign nationals because they're tired, you say much and much. Everything is much and much. Everything much and much. Guys, no, foreign nationals need to take responsibility for their actions and the things that they've done in this country and leave. This thing of saying you're not going anywhere. If you're an illegal immigrant, saying that you're not leaving a country where the people and the government are saying that you're supposed to leave is a sign of disrespect. And you can't say it's the South Africans' fault.
Sawubona Mbukeli, nangu mangobe la ebeka udaba lokuthi hayi ngoba engafuna ama-foreigner, but ama-foreigner angekho documented ayahlupha ngoba menza ubugebengu akakwazi ukutholakala. bathi ama-foreign hhayi nama-South Africa nawo wenza ubugebengu. Yebo, awenza kubo e-South Africa. Hhayi wena ubhitha ngoba wajola ne-Nigeria. Hhayi ukuthi akusinjalo Mangobese, akusikona ngoba ubhitha ngoba wajola ne-Nigeria. Abantu bathathe iy'thombe zakhe, iy'thombe zomunye umuntu bay'fake ku-social media ngathi wuye. Uthi cha, akusinjalo. Mbukeli, awubuke nansi ividiyo bese ubeke wakho umbono ukuthi wena uthini ngale vidiyo lena, bese-ke uya-subscribe-a mla bukeli, iphinde ibonane kwividiyo elandelayo. Bye bye.